zodiac energy readings for April are officially done. I'm so excited to have them compiled and ready to present to all of you. I did all of these over the course of 3 days. I did them on Patreon through live streams. So I'm going to do that again at the end of April for all the May zodiac energy readings. If you want to participate in some live streams, you should totally check out Patreon, any tier. All the tiers have access to all the live streams. I'm going to be doing them every Thursday, and then at the end of the month, I'll be doing the zodiac energy readings. So check the description for a link. In the description, you'll also find a breakdown. So if you want to just go directly to your zodiac sign, I put a list, and then it'll just take you to that moment in time in the video. I do highly recommend that you expand your horizons and tap into some of the other zodiac signs. It's really cool to get a feel how the many facets of our collective, how we're all going through our own unique emotional experience in the month of April. So I always like to encourage people to expand their horizons because we're all a part of each other. So while you have your zodiac sign, I have my zodiac sign, we're still a part of each other's experience, right? It just makes you feel more well-rounded and understanding and appreciating the whole. I get the pleasure of dipping into all the zodiac signs for an entire month, so I actually feel like I've connected with our collective on a really extraordinary level every time I do these. So I feel transformed by it. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Thank you all so much for being a part of this experience. It really means the world to have all of you. If you're new to my channel, don't be shy to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can be ready for the next video, right? All right, have a great day, everybody. Thank you all so much again. I hope you enjoy the zodiac energy readings for April. So I'm going to be tapping into the Aries collective, tuning into the energies for the month of April. And we will see what the wisdom and healing is for those who are Aries. But since we're all a part of each other, we're all connected. We can all learn and grow from each other's zodiac signs. So we'll all win here. So I'm going to tap in the Aries collective, but let's see what the bigger wisdom and healing is that can make a difference for everybody. Okay, this is a little difficult. This first image is, there's a very long blade, like a sword. I'd say more like a samurai sword, but it doesn't say that it's like an Asian type sword. It doesn't say it's a medieval type sword. It's more like a very large knife. Like you would use this to cut your apple, but it's like super over exaggerated huge. And there's something, I don't know what this object is. It makes me think of a vase, but it's not made out of glass. And it's sliced through as though it is made out of butter more than anything. But I see as this knife comes down very swift, and it cuts through this object, it looks like a clear vase. It just cuts right through, and it seems to be like a jello that could just, maybe it sort of still stands upright, but it feels like it's going to melt or it's going to come down. And there's a lot of anger, and it's really cutting into the mind. It's just cutting into the mind. It seems to cut in from the left side and then swipes around. And I see out of only one eye. And I have to accept that. So I'm sitting here and I experience and see a reflection of an Aries. I mean, this is like, come on, guys, come on. Like, April's supposed to be brilliant. It's spring, it's sunny. Like, what's all this with the knives and the cutting? Like, this is supposed to be a good month for Aries. All right, so I'm looking at this face that has been damaged, okay? And it's been, it's cutting into the mind, and it can only see out of one eye, the right eye. And I'm looking, and it's just, it's hard to look at, to be honest. It's hard to see this. It's hard to feel this way. It's hard to hold oneself together. And I see this human face starting to turn into a little fish on a table, and the fish is without air and it's flopping. And the sun is shining upon the fish, and the fish is drying out. And this is a real challenge. I mean, Aries has some real challenges that they're going to have to face. And it doesn't seem like you're going to go into it with as a whole person. Seems like you're going to go into it with some damage, and you're not able to access both eyes in order to see. And you're going to have and it's going to be affecting the mind, and it's going to hurt. I mean, that's literally my experience here. It's going to feel like a fish that has no air or no water and is flopping in the air. So right now I'm just remember, I'm Aries here, so it's like, oh, what? So I'm just right now I'm processing this for myself. I seriously need to disconnect from my own zodiac energy readings. All right. So I'm just literally transmuting this energy and helping Aries to feel whole, because this is hard. Literally what I'm being shown is hard. I'm looking for tools. I'm looking for opportunities. I'm looking for people. I'm looking for what is there anything that Aries can access that is going to help Aries through this experience? Aries needs to believe in Aries self. And Aries has a right to their perspective, their point of view. They have a right to their how their mind is processing their reality and the way their reality makes them feel. So the Aries needs to align with, they have a right to their opinion. They have a right to the way that they're perceiving their world. They have a right to talk about that. So what this reminds me of is there may be conflict with other people. There may be a need to talk through maybe a difficult point in a relationship, or maybe something difficult is coming up at work, and it's like it sideswipes, and then it makes it so you just have one eye to see, and it's really upsetting the mind, and you can't breathe. It's like suffocating. You're just flopping on a table. I say, what else? Any other tools for Aries? I'm trying to kind of journey into, I mean, this is the whole of April we're looking at here. So sometimes I wonder, maybe we're going to go into April and it's going to be difficult, and maybe it will be easier at the end of April, or maybe it'll be more difficult at the end and it'll be easier at the beginning. But they're showing me this as the whole of April. But I'm going to see if I can't tap into some concepts of time here, okay? Okay, they want to show me another image. And there's a man, and he's like a milkman. He's wearing all white, and he's at a white door, and he's offering a service like he's a milkman. Now, this is really, really down there. Like, I'm looking down and I am seeing this from a bird's eye point of view. And there's also some kind of like a mountain above this home, which has no roof, because it is somehow this mountain, which is kind of see-through and really like a hot pink color. It's kind of cool looking. And at the bird's eye point of view, I can't go down to this level to investigate it. I'm going to have to make an interpretation. What's interesting, bird's eye perspective is usually seeing the bigger picture, but I feel like my eyes are not able to see all the details that I want to access in order to make what I feel is a wise decision. So it's almost like you're going to have to work with your instincts. You're going to have to work with, make a choice and see what happens. And as this bird's eye perspective, I'm trying to get down there because I really feel strongly like if I could just see some more details, I'll know what to do. But I'm not allowed to access that. So I'm just going to watch this milkman and he's going about his normal day. And nobody comes to the door and picks up the milk. And so I see the milk is left at the door and I wonder if maybe nobody's home. But I find this a very peculiar house because it basically has a roof that's made out of like a pink mountain that's coming out from inside the house. And there's a concept about you're going to have to accept that life is the way that it is. And there may be some things that you're not going to be able to change. And it could make you sick to your stomach even. Like for some reason, this rotten, it's the milk is getting rotten. And it's just a simple picture. It's just a simple reality. These people aren't home. They aren't able to get the milk. The milk is just rotting on the doorstep. It's just another day in the life of a human. But for some reason, as I am this bird watching this, I start to feel like I have a rot in my stomach. And I can't change anything. I can't change anything about the scene. I can't even get down to the milk to put it in the fridge for these people. I can't do anything to change the circumstances. And I have to accept that life sometimes is the way that it is and to trust that it is the way that it is for all the right reasons. And sometimes you'll be able to make an impact and sometimes you won't. But that doesn't mean that things aren't in a beautiful balance, even if it does make you sick to your stomach. So there's something that you feel isn't right. You need to, you're trying to see all the details so you can make wise decisions. You feel conflicted. You feel like you're only working with one side, the right eye, flopping like a fish. But some of this is you have a right to your own point of view. You have a right to your own perspective on things, Aries. But there may be no ability to change certain things in April that might make you feel vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable. So April could be a trying time. But remember these tools, okay? You have a right to your opinion, okay? You have a right to what you want. Are you going to be able to change the way things are? You might not be able to. Are you able to accept that life is still in the balance, even if you can't make it the way you want it to be? Are you able to accept that? Suddenly I see the fish stop flopping. And I just see the fish cry because it doesn't want to live outside the water. But I find that this experience makes this fish that much stronger. And it's kind of a surreal concept because obviously this fish will die without water, but in this energy scene, it's kind of like a cartoon, a moment where the fish is learning how to adapt to a new experience, a new way of living. All right, so there we go for Aries. I'm going to tap into Taurus now. All right, Taurus Collective. What do you have to share with us today? This is for Taurus, but this message is something we can all learn and grow from, something that will reach all of our hearts. We're all a part of each other, and I am very thankful for Taurus Collective for what you have to share. All right, let's see what's up for Taurus for April. It's very quiet, very simple right now. I feel easygoing. I'm looking at, it's not white, it's not off-white, it's not really even a color. If you were to look at the air, what would you see? You would see through the air, right? But what if the air was a color somehow? So you would just see this sort of, it's like a matte finish, like an off peach color is literally what it looks like. But it's kind of like staring at the air, and it's very, I feel like I am winding down. I feel like I'm comfortable and relaxed. There's no detail to investigate. This is getting quite chalky, and I don't like that chalkiness. And it's actually bothering my nose more than anything. I really liked that peaceful moment. It was really meditative. Even I felt it's kind of the feeling of being on your front porch or your back porch on a sunny day. One of the first warm days of the year, you know, after a long winter. It was very comforting, very comfortable. I felt at ease. I felt even like I could let my mind wander, and there was no real conflict. As the scene changes, though, this comfort is getting uncomfortable. So this color, this air that I felt comfortable with is now getting chalky, and again, it's bothering my nose. I'm starting to feel a bit of aggression in my emotional gut, and it's sort of swiftly pushing through my heart. I don't really feel it in my heart, more so than in my stomach and then in my throat, and it's sort of pushing its way out. And it's creating a rumble here in the third eye. It's definitely shaking things up. And there's a lot of like, it's the classic pound moment, like, like it's like trying to articulate a point, you know, 1 point. It's kind of like the judge in the anvil. That what is that what it's called? Like where they crack they make the cracking noise like this is final, you know. So it's got like this final moment of symbolism, but it's almost like I'm making a point. But the point doesn't have to be final, it just needs to be made. And this anger is sort of shooting up again from the stomach out the throat, out the mouth, and it's making my nose feel very twitchy, a lot, very itchy, circulating energy in my third eye, my crown. I'm starting to go back into a comfortable place again, where I just want to wind down and just enjoy life. That was a very quick moment where I feel great. I feel relaxed and comfortable. Things got a little bit intense there. I just want to make my point, but I don't want to stay in that energy. I want to come back into this feeling of winding down. I really like this sensation of comfort, relaxation, peacefulness. What's interesting is when I wind down and I go back to this comfortable place, I go back to seeing this color. And it's like I'm looking at the air, but there's nothing to see. I just see this like off peach color. And that's all there is. It's simplicity. There's no detail. It's just this flat color, but it's dimensional. Like I can look through it. I exist within it. It's everywhere. But it doesn't overwhelm my eyes. It doesn't overwhelm my senses. And now it's starting to change again. And it's not chalky this time. It's more like paint. And I'm starting to get angry about it. Like, this isn't the way I wanted things. This isn't what I said, or this isn't what you told me you were going to do. It's starting to drip in, and it feels like I just spilt paint on my clothes or my skin, and now I've got to go wash up. It's like an annoyance. It's an annoying moment. It is starting to shift again away from that really swift annoyance. And I see a kid with really melted ice cream getting all over their nose and mouth and chin is dripping all over their clothes, all over their hands, all over their legs. It's like a total mess. But I don't feel upset about this. I actually find it pleasing to look at this kid eating ice cream, and it brings me back to memories of my own childhood. This is the Taurus collective sharing this. This is the April experience for Taurus. I will say what I find about this whole message, I personally want to understand something here. What is the meaning of this peach color? Is it a blinder in a sense? Is it a long overdue month for just rest and relaxation, not needing to really look at the details of life, but kind of, just lean back, relax. There are moments though that can push the buttons, to activate a reaction, but they're short-lived. And there's this need to return to a place of relaxation, only to kind of get jolted out by an annoying situation. But it's like, I don't want to stay in that energy. I want to find a feeling of inner peace again. And looking at this kid brings me back again to childhood memories. It's very pleasant. Is there anything to be discovered for Taurus this month? Is there anything to be looked at? Is this what the Taurus collective would like to share for April? Anything else? There is another message here, because there's something about messiness. And they're showing me that this peach color and all the scenes that I've described, that I've looked at and felt, they're all kind of mixing together, and it's starting to turn into kind of a weird dough with a weird juicy sauce around it. And there's a need to mix things up, and it feels off balance to me. It feels like I'm mixing paint with food, and I can't eat this. Why would you even do that? This is perfect dough here. We can make something out of it, but what's the paint for? Are we trying to create maybe we're doing something differently? Why is this in with this? They don't match. They don't mix, but yet there's a need to mix things up. So see again that aggressive need to assess the situation, a dislike for the way things are in this moment, but then a coming back to a peacefulness. They're really encouraging Taurus to stay positive and enjoy winding down and being peaceful. It's okay if things get mixed up in a way that you don't like it, it doesn't agree with you, but embrace those moments of relaxation and peace. I mean, they're really emphasizing that. And it's okay if there aren't any crystal clear details. Actually enjoy simplicity. Yeah. So, my gosh. Okay, it's time to get into Gemini. Okay, Gemini. I'm going to be tapping into the Gemini collective for April. Let's see what the Gemini collective has to share with those who are Gemini. But anyone watching this video can, there'll be a takeaway of some kind, whether that's wisdom or healing, there'll be a takeaway. We can all learn from each other and we can all heal together. We're all a part of each other. But I'm going to tap into Gemini collective now, and let's see what we discover for April. Okay, there's very fine details and investigation and looking at the microscopic, right on down to the nitty gritty. I'm actually looking at some kind of texture, and it zooms in and it zooms in and it zooms in. It's like, wow, this is actually kind of satisfying. It's really weird. It's like I don't know why, but I love the way that this texture looks as I get closer to it and closer to it. It just looks surreal to me, and it looks like it'd be really fun to touch as well. It's kind of grooves, and it's kind of like scales, but it looks like it's made out of rubber. And it's not perfectly like there is a pattern here. So if I run my hands along it, it's going to feel the same. But there is like a dimensional character to the way this looks, and it's really fantastic to look at. But I'm really zooming in to see things at the most detailed level. This is very satisfying. I'm telling you, this is very satisfying. I feel like I could investigate and look at the little details all day. Like this would just be the most wonderful thing in the world. And I want to study, I want to look into. It's not getting boring yet. I mean, time is passing and I'm still investigating just the exact same thing I've been looking at. And I'm not bored of it yet. I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm waiting for something to happen. Nothing is happening. I'm not disappointed. I'm not bored. I seem to have zoomed into the level that I want to go with it. And I'm just enjoying what I'm seeing. And I'm kind of enjoying that nothing is changing about what I'm seeing. I'm enjoying that there's a consistency here. It's actually very refreshing. I will say, just simply in my own heart, my own personal experience, it's very nice when you feel like life is has some kind of like you can count on it to have a rhythm. Like every day this week is gonna be like this. Like you know what to expect next. There's something pleasant about it. It could be a very boring life potentially if it's too consistent, perhaps. But I will say I find this journey with the Gemini collective to be wonderful because I actually experience time passing. I experience day after day after day after day after day after day, and there are no surprises. And it's like I've zoomed into the microscopic level. I'm looking at the exact same thing, and I'm not bored. Almost like this is wonderful. There's consistency here, and I don't need to see any more than I've already seen. And I love the level that I'm looking into this. And it's just what it is. It's exactly what it is, and nothing is changing about it. It's very pleasant. So, Gemini collective, like what does this have to do with human life? What does this have to do with um like tell us more. We're still looking at the same image and I'm still touching it. I still feel happy with it. I don't want change. I want I want things to stay the same for a time. But they keep showing me a person that's sitting at a desk and they're using their pen and paper to write down detailed notes. And they're doing some research online and they want to make sure they remember some of these very specific points. So they're taking really good notes. And this is very revitalizing. Like some people love to cut out coupons. Some people love their morning Sunday paper. Some people love to play chess. Like it's kind of like one of those hobbies that just really it helps you to wind down and it really suits your needs. And um, it has a simplicity to it. And I find that this whatever I'm researching here on the computer, I'm taking notes. I feel is very therapeutic. I feel like I could just sit here and research this and take notes on it day after day after day. Like I'm really enjoying what I'm learning. I enjoy remembering what I'm learning. I enjoy taking note of it. It doesn't feel like we're really going to understand the meaning of what this is about for a few months to come, because you could say in a way that you're absorbing, downloading, receiving an expanded awareness of sorts, and it's just a pleasantness. Really, it feels like just a simply a pleasantness. And this pleasantness energy is being digested. I mean, it's going straight into the cells, and so as time passes, it's always going to be there with you, even in future moments of time. It's going to be there with you. And it feels like we don't need to understand it more than just to receive it, enjoy the pleasantness of it. And then if we want to zoom in to see the nitty gritty details and we find a satisfaction with that, and that stays consistent and we get to enjoy that too, then that's also great. I mean, there is like a spring cleaning vibe to it. It feels like a clean garage. It feels like um, nice, clean sheets, freshly put onto the bed, a freshly made bed. It feels like a very cozy scene, walking the dog on a nice day, and it's not a burden. It's actually fun. And it's like living life in the most practical way is fun, is enjoyable. It gives you a handle on and makes life in a way consistent, because you're taking care of the practical responsibilities. Again, it's just a very pleasant experience. That's amazing. Gemini, I really like your April. I could definitely work with this. Okay. I am going to go on to Cancer now. All right, Cancer Collective. What is the wisdom and healing that I can share with Cancer for the month of April? And for those watching, there's always going to be a takeaway. Whether you're Cancer or some other zodiac sign, there's always going to be a takeaway. All right. Let's see what the wisdom is for Cancer for April. It's smooth. It feels like an empty house. It feels sentimental. This smooth, whatever this is, it's like a plastic that's perfectly see-through, like glass. It's extremely smooth to the touch. There's a lot of yellow color, and I think of a bright kitchen, but I also feel like there's the removal of life because there's no furniture in the house, and it does feel sentimental. I'm trying to decide, are we moving in or are we moving out? Is this a letting go, or is this embracing a new experience, a fresh new start? It feels more like a letting go to me, because as we kind of, it's like a sunset, a beautiful sunset out a window of a home that I feel like I've lived in for a while, and it has a lot of special meaning to me. And as I'm looking at the sunset, it's still quite high in the sky, but I know it's setting. It's not dark out yet, but the way the sun is really bright, almost piercing the eyes when it gets just at this right position, it lets light in. And I just feel like the sun is setting on my life. The sun is setting on my memories. I don't want to see myself leave. I don't want to turn my back on this home, these memories. But I also feel a sentimental acceptance, like it's time. It's really hard though. I mean, I feel like I'm a woman who cooked for years in that kitchen. I mean, that's literally the stance I'm taking here. The Brady Bunch, they had like a maid or something, I was never one, I didn't watch much of the Brady Bunch, but I'm almost certain they had like a maid. And I feel like I am like a maid type who was a caretaker of the home, and I cooked all the meals and I made sure the kids were dressed and ready for school. Like I feel like a straight up ultra mom from way back when. I do. Like I made sure the house was always perfectly clean, and an amazing meal was always cooked. And the kids were always in line with their bath time and their schoolwork, and their shoes are tied and out the door on time. I feel like an incredible mom having to let go of a home that I raised my kids in. But I know it's time, and in a way I'm ready, but I still am having a hard time letting go. I'm having a hard time separating from this. I'm going in and I'm talking to Cancer as this ultra mom figure, because I have got to help Cancer get through the door, because in a way it is so sentimental that it's holding you and circulating you in place, and you're almost like you're going to need help, or you're going to need some support to help guide you to this next step in life, because it feels like it would be hard for you to do it all by yourself, because you're up against yourself, and yourself isn't wanting to let go. You need support even though you're okay with it. You just can't seem to leave. And as I literally, this is kind of funny, but I'm picking up, you look like the, my memory of this maid from, um, now I can't even think of the show, but uh, the Brady Bunch. And I've turned you into a cardboard cutout, and I'm actually hoisting you on like under my arm, so it's long ways like you're a surfboard or something, and I'm taking you down the stairs and out the door. And this is really upsetting your heart. Like, you stop it. What do you think you're doing? You can't take me away from my home. You can't do this to me. So as you can see, there's a friction. There's a, yes, I'm ready to leave. Oh, I had so many great memories, but I'm never going to leave. I'm never going to leave. How dare you take me out of my house? How dare you do this to me? That's my house. It's like you need to go. You need the change. You need to start fresh and new. Hmm. I see that this attachment is a really not a healthy one. The sentimental feelings felt quite pleasant to me. It was beautiful. Now it feels like rotten old furniture, like a rotten house, a rundown place. It feels like rotten. And I'm sad because Cancer, you're going to have to let go of something that's long overdue. This is rotted out, and you're not seeing it for what it is. You're seeing it as sentimental and special, and I need to hold on to this, and but I'm okay to let go of this. And it's very kind of fantasy level thinking, and you need to get grounded and practical. Like, I don't know why the Gemini reading is like so I don't know, there's some kind of extraordinary balance and organization about the way we're perceiving life in April. It reminds me of like, you need to get some of that energy going on. You need to tap into something grounded, something accomplished, simplicity in its own right, a consistency. But it's gonna, when you get more practical, when you see things for the way that they truly are, and you see things for the details of what they are, and you'll find it to be okay. You'll find it to be time. You'll be able to see things and say, oh wow, it is time I move on from this. And that it can be a good thing. It can feel good inside. It doesn't have to feel terrible. I'm actually trying to blend some of the Gemini energy in here with this Cancer, because I think it would help a lot. Now I see another thing here for Cancer. And as the Gemini energy blends in, there's something grounded and there's something consistent and wonderful about it. And it helps the Cancer energy come down to earth, come down to a practical viewpoint. And what that ends up doing is creating a lot of emotional release. And it feels like loss, like death. So, you can hold on to something for as long as you want, but sometimes the longer you hold on to it, the worse it can become emotionally. Um, if you can find a way to quickly sever the ties, then you're starting to grow as a new person. You're catching up with yourself because it's time for change. It is. And you won't know who you are on the other side of this until you let go and move on from it. And it is safe to let go. Okay. So right now I see a lot of emotional release for Cancer, but it's very healing for the heart too. And it's also a sensation of preparation for what is to come next. And perhaps that's in May or June. Perhaps that's at the end of summer. But this is what they're showing me for Cancer for April. Let's see if I'm just going to stick around for one more minute and see if there's anything else. And the reason I'm sticking around is because I feel sorry for Cancer. I don't like seeing Cancer so sad, and it makes me really sad inside as well. And I know how it feels to feel a connection with something, and that connection becomes part of your identity in a way. And knowing that you have to let that identity go, it's like losing a part of yourself, and it's painful. I understand that. And that's why I feel sad. Like I didn't want it to end on that note, because but they're showing me that this emotional release is part of the healing and the transformation. Almost like it's a good thing. Like not to see it feel sorry for Cancer, but to see it as Cancer is working through this and going through a healing process by being emotional, by acknowledging the meaning and the sentimental memories, right? Yeah. Okay. So that is the Cancer Collective for April. All right. Really touched my heart deeply. I feel like I really like the Gemini reading. I mean, each reading has its own personal experience, but now that I reached the end of Cancer, really understanding that emotional place, it actually, I really value that. It's really raw, it's real, it's a very human experience to have. And it's beautiful in its own right? It's very beautiful in its own right. Hmm, neat. All right, I'm going to I'm going to do Leo now. Leo. I've got I'm still working on letting go here the Cancer energy. I'm just working on letting it go because it did touch my heart quite substantially. So I'm just still letting it go so I can be completely clear, coming back to myself here. All right, I'm ready. So I'm just opening up for Leo Collective to share a message special for Leos for April. But anybody can watch the zodiac energy readings and find meaning in them. All right. What is the wisdom and healing for Leo for April? Right now it's very quiet. It's not quiet in a way that it's peaceful. It's not quiet in a way that it's silent. It's almost like I'm waiting for something. And it happens to be quiet right now, like the calm before the storm. But I don't feel like it's necessarily I'm anticipating a brutal thing to happen, but I'm really intently listening and there is no sound. They even show me a pin drop, and for some reason, the pin doesn't make a sound either. The little needle. And as this soundless environment continues, I feel a bit empty inside. This is really difficult. This next, my eyes are hollow, and I feel very tired as I'm stepping. Like each step, I feel each step as I'm moving forward, but I'm not putting emphasis into my walk. I'm not putting emphasis into where I'm going. It's almost like I'm trudging through here. The next step, the next step. There's a lot of shades of blue. When you take the sound out of life, it feels empty and it feels a bit cold as well. And I'm adding sound here for Leo, like the sound of fireworks and people cheering and laughing because it's fun to go watch fireworks. The sound of a carnival and the excitement that exists there. I'm bringing in lots of colors like hot pink and bright yellow and orange and green. And it's interesting because as I bring all this information into the Leo's world, um, it's almost like it deflects it. Like it's not allowing that information to come in. For some reason, Leo just needs to be like this right now. And what's interesting is when I go inside the secret world of Leo, it's actually a meditative state. It looks kind of sad, like a bit dismal and empty, the cold feeling. I feel like I'm just stepping, and it's not like I just have to keep going. So there's a bit of an exhausted state to it. But it's almost like there's a lot more positive energy being like taking place inside Leo during this time, that it might not be outwardly experienced or translated or felt or in the smile of Leo yet. But there's a powerful process going on inside, a very powerful process. It surprises me. I don't feel okay. The next scene is I'm still this person. I'm kind of made out of a mirror type material, and I have a body. I'm probably 3 feet tall. I'm kind of squished down to size. I'm very squishable. Like I could be like a stuffed animal or something, but I look like a human. And I'm also look like I'm made out of a mirror. And there's lots of blue color. And everything went silent for a minute. Again, we're going back into the space of no sound. It all paused. There's something changing. I mean, I literally tapping into this journey, I feel almost like my mind's not involved in the act of living, almost like I pushed my mind went on vacation. It's almost like I'm just kind of going through the motions of life without really being fully present. However, that's changing. And whatever this monumental, extraordinary thing is, this process inside of Leo is starting to come out of Leo. And the silence is still good. It's not cold, and it's not creating comfortable feelings. It's actually nice. It's pleasant. It's becoming pleasant. It feels like there's a lot still to be seen, a lot still to be. I mean, you're wearing a mirror. Your body is like a mirror, but you're not looking into it. You're not looking into yourself. But good things are happening. I mean, even your skin is starting to, there's flowers starting to bloom on your skin. And I feel like we walked through time and a weird dimensional doorway from one reality into a new reality. And maybe it doesn't require you to look into yourself, but just to keep walking and moving forward. And that the events or what is processing inside is going to find its way to the surface so you can see it. And it is pleasant. It is really positive. It's good. All right. What else, Leo Collective? They want me to keep moving forward. To see the Leo skin still has the mirror on it, but it's got all these little beautiful flowers starting to blossom. The blue colors are not so blue now, and the sun is shining. It's very warm and welcoming. Again, it does feel pleasant. There's the eyes still are not illuminated yet. They aren't hollow anymore. That they aren't. It's almost like a film is on them, like a cataract. They um there's something to be illuminated here. There's something to be seen, and we're getting closer to that. It still feels like time and a bit of a journey to get there, but you will be able to see whatever this is about. And it's a big deal. And it has to do with it's almost like you ever try to see and understand something you've been going through for a lot of years, and it's like it's building up to an epiphany where you're going to say, now I get it. Now I see. Now I understand. Wow, I'm seeing myself in a new way now. I never thought I'd see myself like this. It is like a moment of visibility that's going to stay with you, and you're building up to this point. And I don't know if that moment is going to happen in April, but it's building up in April. And I see April as like it gets more pleasant as April continues. Okay. Anything else for Leo? They aren't showing me the eyes fully see yet, but they do show me that Leo smiles and it's real and it's felt and it's part of that energy that's been building up from within, and that's kind of growing a garden on the outside now, and it's helping the eyes to see, and it is joy, it is happy. Even if the clarity isn't fully reached yet, there is a genuine smile. And it feels like, Leo, you've come a long way and you've gone through a lot of doors to get to this point. You could just say one door in a very long and strange tunnel, interdimensional tunnel to get to this new point. But it feels like like a lot of time in the energy world. I don't know if that's just simply April in a nutshell, and some other dimensional space feels like years. Or maybe it's been years of time building up to this point that is kind of following through in April. But that's what they're showing me. Hmm. All right. Yeah, so there we go. I'm just disconnecting from everything here and coming back to myself. All right, Virgo Collective. What is the wisdom and healing that you would like to share with the Virgos for April? But this wisdom and healing, anybody can tap into, any zodiac sign can tap into it and find some deep meaning in it as well. Okay. Virgo is this feels like Virgo wants to talk but isn't saying anything yet. But it's very quick. Like there's almost like this energy push towards me, but I don't know what it's saying, but I feel it like a need for communication, a desire to communicate. So I'm going to wait a minute. Yeah, I'm surrounded by Virgo and it's actually there's definitely it's about self-expression, communication. However, the energy which is surrounding me, it's like in the air that I breathe, it's everywhere, it's around me as Virgo. But I don't hear any sound and I can't interpret the message if there's no sound to it. But I do see Virgo. Virgo does exist. I am aware of Virgo. I am tapping in. I am sensing Virgo. But Virgo, what are you trying to say? It's almost like Virgo doesn't know yet. It definitely wants to say something, but it doesn't know yet. It's not like it seems like it hasn't formulated what it wants to say yet. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm taking all this energy that is all around me that represents Virgo, and I'm going to put it into a form like a person because I want to acknowledge that Virgo, I see you. I acknowledge you. You exist. But you're really shy about coming out about something. But you're feeling more comfortable that you can have a form and you can stand here and you can be acknowledged. But you're holding something inside yourself. You really want to express it, but you can't seem to do it. It seems like a very good thing to me. Maybe there is a fear factor involved. Like if you say that, the domino effect will happen. But it feels to me like it's a genuine expression of sound, of voice, of you, of Virgo, right? You are expressing yourself. Um, but why is it so hard to define it? Why is it so hard to put it into a language? Why is it so hard to get it out of yourself? Just a minute. This is an emotional thing. I feel it in my stomach. I feel it in my mind. I feel it in my eyes. I feel it in a lot of places. It's just starting to kind of erupt these feelings all over me. And particularly, I feel them in the center, all the chakras, in the center of all the chakras. That's how big deal this is. I mean, in the center of every chakra, there are feelings, and I can feel these feelings in my mind, in my throat, in my heart, in my stomach, in my sacral chakra, my my lower gut, my root. Like, I mean, there's so many feelings. It's beautiful though. It's beautiful because you're glowing like a rainbow of feelings, but you're not helping us to understand what are these feelings? What are you trying to tell us? It's almost like you want us to interpret you for yourself so you don't have to do it. Like we have to just know what you're trying to say. And we're like, we don't know. What are you trying to say? But we see you. We want to know what's going on. Talk to us. Help us understand. I'm gonna try. Nope, they're not gonna let me. They're like, no. I have to be a part of the audience that doesn't know how and doesn't have the skills, doesn't know how to interpret you, Virgo. I have no idea what you're trying to say, but I want to know, and I am open to knowing. But I'm kind of like missing the link of maybe an empathy, some kind of other sense to translate you. So I'm almost like, you need to make it plain and you need to speak clearly and loudly for me to understand. And that's what the audience is that Virgo has. The audience needs you to help them understand. So you're going to have to come out from within yourself somehow. And you have to make a sound in order to do that. You have to say something. Okay. Oh boy. There's a not nice energy starting to appear here. I don't know if this is your personal fear, like this is the fear factor that is maybe inspiring you to not say. Maybe this is why you're not really sure how to formulate the words. And this is like the fear factor. It's just not nice energy. This not nice energy is really not nice. It's not nice energy at all. It's rude. It's belligerent. It's a jerk. And I actually get to help you now. And I just simply hold your hand. And I say, I'm sorry that you have this in your life. This person, this situation, this problem, this, and it's really hard. And it's hard because nobody can step into your shoes and do the talking for you. You got to do the talking for yourself. And I can't help you do that. However, I can be here and acknowledge you and support you. I really want to stick with it to see if I'm asking the angels, I'm asking Virgo Collective and the higher consciousness of Virgo, what advice do you have for Virgo? What support can we share with Virgo today? All of us, all the zodiac signs, like everybody. What can we share? It's not, it's not, there's a development of an answer, but I don't know what it is just yet, because I have a feeling it's not what you want to hear. And maybe it's not what I want to hear for you either, because it's like, um, there's no easy way out. There's no easy solution. You're going to have to start somewhere, and it might feel uncomfortable, but it has to come out. You ever, as kids, like we have a loose tooth and your parents tell you, I'm going to pull it out. It has to come out. And you're screaming like, no, don't touch my tooth. But yet you want your parent to touch the tooth, even though you don't, and you do want it to come out, but you don't. And you're like avoiding like the plague. And then one day you have the courage, and then, mom or dad comes and just pulls it right out. And it's like, oh, why was I avoiding that? All I had to do was just take the moment, embrace it, just let it happen. Done. I'm free of the tooth, I'm free of the pain. I just had to have some mode of confidence to face my fear and just let that event happen and let the support be there. But it is scary, it is hard. No kid wants that. It's like you skin your knee, and now mom's or dad's here with the peroxide and the cotton ball, and it's like, don't touch it, but then touch it, heal it, but don't touch it. Like, it's pain. It's straight up pain. It doesn't feel good no matter what age, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. Any kind of pain hurts for a reason. That's why it's pain. There's really no easy way out of pain. And what is an easy way out of pain? That usually is the pathway to addictions and other things that create different types of pain, that now we have all this extra pain. So we don't want to avoid it. We want to face the pain. So that's what the angels are saying. That's what Virgo higher conscious is saying. That's what is to face it. Okay, face this. Face this. But they show how the child feels after the tooth is pulled so much better. You'll feel so much better. That's literally the message for April. I feel like there was some major energy transformation for me in this experience as well, because I was kind of right along with you there in the heart, especially emotional, gut, third eye, because it's going to change the way you see yourself, you see the situation. It's going to transform you. I feel that you're on the brink of transformation. It's good. Here we go for Libra. Okay, Libra collective. Higher consciousness of Libra. Angels. What is the wisdom and healing for Libra for the month of April? And we're all here to grow and learn from each other. No matter what zodiac sign. And so we thank Libra for this wisdom and healing for Libra, but that it touches all of our hearts. Okay. I don't know why the word palpable comes to mind. Palpable. And it's strange because it's intermixed with several different things. One is carpet. It's your classic carpet. Like, you'll get a rug burn from this carpet. There's nothing, like, it's fibers, okay? But it's intermixed with something that you could say is a bit chalky, but it has moisture in it. It doesn't really dissolve on the tongue. So it's like, it's palpable because we're bearing it. It's fine. It's doable. I'm not rejoicing here. It doesn't have the umami effect. It's palpable. I don't even think this is palpable. All right, we're gonna work with this. The colors are creamy white with black spots. Okay, tiny little black flecks in a creamy white, and it also looks like ice cream, like a scoop of ice cream, but it doesn't melt. It's some kind of substance. It almost reminds me of kinetic sand as well. Like, if that could be put on your tongue and consumed somehow, like, I don't know, it's like, it's the texture, it's a mix between carpet, kinetic, like, it's very strange. All right, let's see what comes next. I have to say the word palpable again, and I'm going to sit in that energy for a moment. And the next thing is, I've got like a really long somebody else's hair. Like, it's really long. How'd that get in there? It's not pleasant. I don't like this. Like, it's fine. I'm okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just somebody else's hair. That's all. So just remove it, done, you know, but let's see what the next thing is. I hear the word nitty gritty. This is the most peculiar journey I've I've had to do in a while. All right, we're gonna stick with it, okay? Nitty gritty, okay? I'm gonna sit with the way nitty gritty makes me feel. I think of you know, Ren and Stimpy. He has like this gritty cat litter. I think I want to say that it's called nitty gritty, but I don't think it is. Something like gritty cat litter, and he eats it, okay? And it's like his choice cat litter. It's like, it's so great you would want to actually eat it. And nitty gritty is also part of the palpable. And I'm not allowed to, and like, I'm not allowed to step into this as in, let's see what we can do to change things. Let's see what we can do to shift this. Tell us more about this. Give us some tips and advice. But no, we're going to have to stick with it. Okay. So let's see what the next thing is. Okay. So we're relooking at all the scenes, palpable, things that are very odd, texture on the tongue, not the greatest, but okay. Palpable, weird long hair, not the greatest, but okay. All right. Nitty gritty. For some reason, I think of like gritty cat litter from Ren and Stimpy. I don't want to eat it. Stimpy might like it. I don't want it. So again, it's just like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not great. So that's fine. We're just going to sit with the way that energy feels. Okay. This is Libra Collective for April. It's not the end of the world. That's what the higher wisdom is saying. It's not the end of the world. It's a hair in your mouth. It's not the most flavorful. It's not the end of the world. We're going to have days that are gray and days that are rainbow, you know? It's not the end of the world. So literally we are all in an experience of digestion of this energy that is not the end of the world. It really isn't the end of the world. They're right. It isn't the end of the world. It's palpable. Usually when I think of nitty gritty, it's like getting down to the nitty gritty, getting down to brass tacks, getting down to the small details, like let's make things happen. But for some reason, nitty gritty in my experience is still a palpable thing. It's not like a manifesting energy. It's more like a digestion, a processing of fine, okay. Not the end of the world, but okay. There's something to this that they're really trying to get through to us and through to Libra Collective. It's almost like every day we want us to celebrate. We want to feel great from the moment we wake up till the moment we go to bed at night. We want to feel great, right? Every single day. But when life is palpable and that's every single day, it's hard to feel a rejoice. It's hard to feel a reason to celebrate because it's just palpable, you know? It's like a gray area of life that isn't the end of the world, but it's not a celebration either. But they're wanting us to think about, why is it okay to have a time like this? And what do you think is inspiring it? What do you think is attracting it or causing it? Even if there's no explanation for it, is it okay for it to just be like this for a period of time? And the unanimous answer is yes, it actually is, because for some reason this is a divine thing here. This is a divine feeling. This is divine energy. Palpable is a divine emotion, a divine feeling. And the divine of it makes it absolutely perfect in its own right. It's like judging somebody who, I don't know, just has some strange thing about them and they can't stop whatever that strange thing is that they need to change because it's bothering you. You know, it's like everything in it is a divine thing. Even the experience of evaluating somebody else is a divine moment that is helping you to understand yourself. And then that somebody else is divinely guided to see themselves in a new way. And there's really nothing here. It's a very neutral type of energy. It's like It's not bad and it's not good. It's palpable. And that is divine. That is divine. That is full of love. That is pure. That is bright. So it's bringing Libra back into your body and embracing this palpable life in a way that allows you to experience palpable as a divine blessing, as something that is brighter than you ever thought. And it brings the light back inside yourself. And it helps to give you an edge, and it helps you to feel bright. Yeah, I love this. I'm literally lingering in this bright feeling of feeling really tuned in to palpable, and I didn't expect to find this so acceptable in a way that I felt love inside of it, and I felt love inside of me through it, through this unexpected moment. And I do feel the divine. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Libra Collective. That was really cool. But this is the message for Libras for April. But you can see how we all can gain something from this. Okay, Scorpio Collective. Divine higher wisdom for Scorpio Collective, angels. What is the wisdom and healing that you can share with Scorpios for the month of April? That we can all support Scorpio or receive awareness that empowers us too, from learning from Scorpio. Okay. It's not fully clear just yet, but I keep thinking of a golden waterfall. But it doesn't necessarily represent true gold. It's almost like it looks like gold, but it's not real gold. And it's got this chunkiness to it. It's almost like a mustard. It's starting to become like a weird liquidy mustard that has some chunks that didn't get stirred up all the way. We thought it was gold, wasn't really gold, turned out to be mustard. And it wasn't even like well blended mustard. It's like got chunks in it, and it just keeps flowing. I'm not a particular fan of the taste of mustard, so this would not be ideal for me. All right, let's keep watching. Okay, my gosh, Scorpio. Your journeys are usually like pretty dynamic, interdimensional. Okay, so there's triangles of different sizes, and the triangles fit into each other, and they have all these cross sections, and there's all these different paths basically. All the while through these cross sections, which represent kind of interdimensional doorways, pathways. It also kind of represents a complicated mirror, okay? But when I look through it, I see the mustard waterfall. But I choose to say, this is coming from the spirit of Scorpio, I choose to say, that is gold. That is gold. And there is an epiphany going on here about perception. And it's not fully aware yet. It's not fully come full circle. Like it hasn't caught up with itself yet for Scorpio. But it's deeply meaningful. Deeply meaningful. It's like, it's deeply meaningful. Like I feel a sense of renewal from it. I feel like I understand. It's like a meaning of life epiphany. Like I understand something deep about myself and the meaning of life, and I understand. It's not fully there yet. It hasn't fully happened yet, but it is on its way. I have to pause for a moment here because everything is still, everything is in a moment of silence. There is no forward motion. It's almost like everything is about to change. Where it's, I mean, I feel the intensity building. I feel an awareness happening. Like everything is about to change. And it's the weirdest thing. All right. When I personally feel that everything is about to change, I expect like a ta-da, like a here you go, this is it, you know. What I didn't expect is that I would just simply see all of these triangles shapes and this mustard / golden waterfall just moving further and further and further away into the distance. And this something big that is about to happen is what exactly? I see Scorpio standing here and there's nothing around you but yourself. But I still feel there are attachments to things that you're going to have to let go of. This amazing undertone of a powerful discovery about yourself and the meaning of life is still very loudly there. I can hear it and feel it and sense it. But I feel that there is still this work to do. Already change is happening. It's trying to figure out how you're going to move forward. And they want you to acknowledge that every day, this is literally basically what they're saying, that every day is going to be better than the day before. The reason why is because every day you are knowing who you are better than you knew yourself yesterday. And that is important, and that is profound. And that is the epiphany and the meaning of life energy that I'm picking up on. That is important for Scorpio to hear that. Even if you don't have all the answers, even if you don't know the next steps, the next direction, even if you can't understand the way that life is circulating, you need to know that today you are more yourself than you were yesterday. And that is important. That is the most important thing. And tomorrow you will know yourself even more than you did the day before. That is how you grow. That is this transformation. And what's amazing to me and breathtaking is that in the heart of Scorpio, it's like it can understand this deep truth. In the heart of Scorpio, it's not about what you think life is about. It's about the depths of what life truly is about. I mean, I see this deep energy here that has a heartbeat, and it is like the meaning of life energy. And while Scorpio wants to live a good life, as we all do, right? Wants to find success, as we all do, right? Wants to understand, wants to have a solid, grounded next step, as we all do, right? There's something really profound and precious here, that beneath the surface of the human way, there is this awareness about a deep meaning. that life is about yourself and your own personal growth and development and self-discovery in a deep way, deep self-discovery. It's beautiful. And now it's like, it doesn't matter if it's a golden waterfall or a mustard waterfall, because what matters um, is the deep understanding of oneself. It's not about what's out there, it's about what's inside. So as we're getting through this deep place, this is part of the Scorpio journey. I mean, I feel like where we began felt more at the surface of the human experience, and where we've reached is a deep place, profoundly deep place of accepting oneself, and that life may be right now all about you knowing yourself more today than you knew yourself yesterday, as the gem and the jewel of what life is about. This is your place of power. This awareness is, this wisdom is. I feel again a shift here, and this is about the month of April, because you are trying to guide your own path. You're trying to guide yourself into something that resonates with you about life, because life is about being human. It's about following through with the day to day. It really is. Whether that's the mustard moments, I don't particularly like mustard, so that would be like the ew gross moments, and the ooh look at that, I'll take this golden waterfall, sure, you know. It's like ew, yeah, okay, cool. Life has this, like, we're human. I mean, that is like that's our gravitational pull, you know. So it's kind of like we're going up the staircase again to something that's not so intensely deep, to something that is more more like I can breathe, like I can simplify. It's a practical human life, and I want to feel follow through. I want to feel direction. I want to feel like I'm building upon something. I want a stability, but I want to flow with it, and I want it to feel like it represents who I am and my identity. And this is feeling a lot more breathable. It's not a deep place. It's actually more at a heartfelt, meaningful place that is more close to a human experience. So this interdimensional Scorpio and consciousness is like, it's like it's here, and then it's going deep, really like really ridiculously deep, only to go like find its way to something more at the human level, like. And then what comes next, you know, it's like moving through these ways of processing. And I'll tell you what, it seems to get lighter at the end of April, as in it feels functional. It feels like, I don't know that Scorpio, you're going to get all the answers in April. It just feels like maybe you're seeking or searching for something that works for you, and it's just not there yet. And I don't know that you're going to have all the answers at the end of April, but you're going to be okay with that. That's what it feels like. You don't have to have all the answers, because you something about how things move and change for you is, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Like, I'm okay with this right now. I'm just going to ask if there's anything else for Scorpio here. Okay, they want me to go up a notch to, like, we're still pretty deep, so we're going to go yet another vibrational level higher, okay? So we're pulling this energy, we're just moving up, so it's a lighter experience, vibrationally lighter. And when it gets vibrationally lighter, it's almost like, wow, why did I go into such a deep place? Why was I so drawn to that complexity, emotional complexity? It's so much more fun to be at this higher, brighter place where I'm just kind of free to have fun, to dance, to sing, to, I don't know, something feels more lively. I mean, I see what is like a community coming together, like olden days, to like celebrate the harvest or something. And there's like teenagers dancing and there's music and it's fun and there's a liveliness to it. And there's something lively in the energy of Scorpio, as it goes yet up a notch to a lighter experience, a brighter and lighter experience. This is also helping you to see a bigger picture, and understanding about the way your life is right now. And it's going to be satisfying. Like I feel like it does satisfy because you don't need all the answers today at this vibrational place. You don't need it because you just want to live. You just want to live and enjoy living and life. And it's even in simplistic ways like listening to music and singing in your car. There's simple ways that we just let ourselves go, and it was actually exactly what we needed in that moment. But this actually feels like mingling with people, or going outside and doing maybe farmers market. Like it seems like being around people, feeling a lot lighter, maybe not having all the answers, but feeling re-energized, feeling happy even. Man, April sounds like a very dynamic month for Scorpio. How cool. That was really neat. Thank you so much, Scorpio Collective. I hope you enjoyed this experience as well. I hope it helps you feel more guided in the month of April. Wow, I want to come out and actually state, you know, the intentions, but I'm already feeling Sagittarius energy. And it's very warming of my heart. And I see beautiful, really like magenta colored flowers. And it's like gift giving for, I feel like Sagittarius is giving me really beautiful magenta colored flowers. And it's really meaningful to me. So I'm just receiving that here. It's really sweet. And so that may be part of the Sagittarius message for April. Maybe there's something about gift giving and helping or healing others, sharing the spirit of love within your heart, to reach other people's hearts, to touch people's hearts. Maybe there's something to this for April. But I'm going to go out and speak to, just kind of open up the door to Sagittarius Collective and the higher consciousness of Sagittarius, to share wisdom and healing and guidance for Sagittarius for the month of April. And as we're all connected, we all can heal and learn from Sagittarius, and what they're going through, or how they're being guided, is something that can touch all of our hearts, and we can learn and grow from it together. It's just very soft. I mean, flower petals, but there's things that make you feel soft on the inside, like a softer side. It makes you feel warm in your heart. You feel like, I feel a softer side. I feel a warmth in my heart. I mean, I feel like baby bunnies, soft fur. And I feel the texture of flower petals and how velvety that can be. But I feel these delightful sensations. I feel that softness in my heart. And I feel happy. I feel like I'm Mother Earth now, and the seeds are in bloom within me, and I'm part of the blossoming of spring. I mean, I feel like I'm the trees and the gardens, the flowers. I feel like I'm even the dandelions, the grass growing. Like, I feel like I'm growing. I feel like there's a vitality here, and I'm in bloom. And I'm in bloom not because I'm in bloom, but I'm sharing this energy with others to inspire them to blossom, as I feel I am blossoming. And I see what is like spring trees with the flowers blossoming. And I see that they're all opening up to, I mean, they're sort of like, see me, but let me share my beauty to heal you. Like there's a beautiful gift giving going on. The radiance of the flower covered trees, and how we adore those beautiful trees. It's very wonderful to look at them. It's very wonderful to just smell the fragrances of spring. It's very wonderful to see everything turning green all of a sudden. It's amazing. And it's not that just to adore this sort of coming to life, but Sagittarius, it's like Sagittarius is coming to life. Um, but Sagittarius is like is receiving the love and the adoration, but isn't doing it for that reason, is doing it also to like is to help heal people, to help people find a sense of rejuvenation and recovery in themselves. Sagittarius is just glowing with real vitality here. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's breathtaking. It's clean. I'm experiencing next very clean tasting water. And I'm just drinking it on down, and it's going down so easy, and it's like a mountain fresh flavor. Like water is not like real true water coming from the spring source. That's not just put in a bottle and then in your grocery store. Like when you can just drink it right from there. It's so ridiculously tasty. It's so ridiculously tasty. It's impossibly good. It's impossibly delicious. Like we don't want to lose lose those special places on our planet because that's just so surreal. And that again is part of the energy of Sagittarius in April. And I feel Sagittarius is wanting us to receive the gift of this type of energy, this type of renewal. I will tell you, Sagittarius, you are a very vibrant zodiac sign for the month of April, and it's very refreshing, and I'm excited for you. And I'm excited to receive from you as well. Cause like it is hard. It's like it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And you ever get that it's kind of like a back and forth where one person does something nice and you receive that and you're just like, oh my god, thank you, and then you do something nice in return because it was just so nice, and then they do something nice because it was just so nice, and then you do something nice and it's just like, oh my god, this domino effect of niceness is happening and it's great. And that's kind of what this reminds me of as well. It's like a domino effect of niceness. It's like so wonderful. I'm receiving, but I'm also becoming in bloom because of the gift of Sagittarius. I'm just going to continue to enjoy this energy. It's very lovely. And I'm just asking the Sagittarius collective if, what, like, okay, show me more. Like, is it really this great? Like, is there any type of words of wisdom? Is there anything Sagittarius needs to be aware of, look out for? Or like, is we just need to reminisce in the love, like reminisce in this blossoming energy? Okay, there's something else. It's basically pink glass, and I'm slightly beneath it, looking up, trying to look through it, and I can. And I see that somebody is setting down what is like a cell phone in a small, basically rectangular shaped box made out of pink glass, and they're just setting it down. And I'm curious about this, and I want to investigate, I want to explore, I want to learn more. And because of that energy, I'm rising to the occasion. I'm rising up in order to see. So the curiosity is creating movement and motion in order to access more information. So there seems to be a curiosity that is going to have a manifesting quality. So you're going to get something back from this. You are going to understand more through your curiosities. And this is so peculiar because apparently there's yet another pink glass, and we have to open this up and then move through it in order to get to this strange pink glass box. And it seems like there is more to move through than we expected. So we are guided, the curiosity is guiding us, but then there's this that you didn't see. And then there's this also that you didn't see. And then there's this that you also didn't see. As you're trying to get to the one thing you want to see, you have to see all these other little breadcrumbs before you can really access this, because then you'll really be able to see the bigger picture about it. So if you have a curiosity driving you, you may find yourself running into another breadcrumb of maybe what you didn't expect. Here's another thing. Oh, here's another thing. Oh, here's another thing. It seems like a lot of these, okay? This isn't frustrating, or I could imagine it would be, but it's almost like when you get into that place of just inner peace, you could do this all day. Like it's almost like I have nothing but time. I am patient. I feel inner peace. I'm learning so much here, and there's no rush. And I feel like there's so much learning that is taking place in April. And it's like another breadcrumb seems to appear, and it all just sort of seamlessly happens. And it's almost like there's something that you're looking into or you're wanting more information on, and you're being guided. It's almost like that is the carrot, but in the process of getting that carrot dangling in front of you, you find other nuggets of information you needed to be introduced to. So it's almost like this was used by your guides as a tool in order to get you moving in a certain direction, get you access to things that maybe you didn't expect you would need to know about before you got to that point. This is also very wonderful. I also feel like this is a blossoming, like these are seeds. These like little breadcrumbs are like more seeds that are going to be in blossom for you, in bloom. Let's see if Sagittarius can get to this cell phone. I mean, it's an object. It's kind of like the shape of a cell phone set down in this pink box. Sagittarius doesn't want it. After you get through all these breadcrumbs, you realize it's not what you were actually looking for. And you needed to know some things ahead of time. And once you figured that out, it's like you could make a sound decision for yourself that makes sense. And it wasn't actually what you wanted. So it really was just a carrot dangling in front of you. And it really wasn't for you. But it's okay to feel guided and curious about it. I don't know why I feel inspired to say this. You could imagine the dating scene, okay? And you meet some different people, and you feel like you've met somebody who might be a really good fit for you. And as you get to know them, the breadcrumbs you're starting to realize that you were attracted to this, but it really wasn't what you were looking for, because these breadcrumbs really show something to you, and there's no hard feelings about it. It's actually very easy, and it feels like it feels wonderful. It feels wonderful to know that this isn't what you were looking for. I mean, how often do we get to say that? Usually it's like, this isn't what I'm looking for, so I just wasted all this time. That's not what the energy is saying. It's actually saying there's just so much vitality, energy, and inner peace and blossoming that it doesn't feel like anything's getting under your skin. And it's kind of a wonderful process. And it's okay to be attracted to something that you later change your mind about. You're actually going to feel good about it. So everything feels very positive for Sagittarius in April. It's really cool. Like, this is a very wonderful experience for me. I feel, I feel simple and just what life is really all about, because I don't feel it. I don't feel like there's no burden here. It just feels like blossoming flowers in the spring on the trees and enjoying that energy, and the tree loving you for loving it. It's just, there's so much love here. It's so much heart energy. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me, Sagittarius. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. And this is the message for Sagittarius for April. So it's very positive. Okay. Ophiuchus Collective. What is the wisdom for April for those who resonate with that zodiac energy sign, Ophiuchus? And you got to follow your heart here. If you're not sure if you're Ophiuchus or not, just follow your heart. I'm tapping into the energy of Ophiuchus and sharing a message for this zodiac sign for April. As we're all connected, we're here to support each other, learn from each other. So any zodiac sign can experience this reading for Ophiuchus and gain something from it. So it's very hesitant to express itself right now. Basically, I'm standing here and I'm listening with open ears, but there's nothing, there's basically a feeling of hesitation and resistance, and it's way out there. Maybe it's the feeling like I'm not ready yet. You know what's interesting? There is what I'm finding a common theme through the zodiac signs about communication. Some are about letting go, but it's really about self-expression, communication. And Ophiuchus has this sensation for April. It's hesitant. It's not ready yet. It's present, but it's far away. It's not wanting to come forward yet. Okay, this is the next thing. I'm going to have to describe it. Basically, take a square shape and then make the square shape go towards a pyramid point. Okay, so it's basically a pyramid on its side with a square bottom. And I'm kind of going to the center point. I'm moving down this tunnel. And the hesitation of Ophiuchus is way, way, way at the point. And it's a very long time for me to reach it. And I'm asking myself, why am I going to Ophiuchus? Why is Ophiuchus not wanting to come to me? Again, this to me represents Ophiuchus as somebody in April who may feel like there might be a confrontation, there might be something that you need to face and you're not ready to face that yet. So I'm actually coming to you to talk to you about it, but you're not ready to confront me. So I could be a representative of something you need to do with work, something you need to do in your relationship, something you need to do, something you need to say, and you're not ready to confront that yet. So I'm standing here. I'm not going to go any further, and I'm going to just simply wait. But I feel in my heart that, Ophiuchus, you need to come and talk to me about this. So what I'm going to have to do, because there's some clearly what could be, whenever the energy is like this and I can't, there's like an avoidance of me, it means that there's a processing of an extreme level, which could be felt like trauma. So I'm actually gonna have to project my consciousness to Ophiuchus, who has created a massive energetic barrier because there's hesitation and I'm not ready yet, to a degree that it's almost like It's digesting, it's transmuting, it's processing almost trauma level feelings. Okay. So maybe you're going through a really hardcore time and you're just feeling it inside yourself and you just aren't ready to confront whatever this lesson is. Okay. So I am going to project myself to Ophiuchus and see what's going on inside of this space where I'm blocked out. So I want to tell you guys one more thing. Oftentimes when I see this, this is one of those moments in time where you might even be asking for your angels for help, your spirit guides for help. They're not able to get in to reach you because, believe it or not, you're creating a barrier of resistance. So even though you're asking for help, you're pushing help away without realizing it. So you need to take the time to say, help is here with me. I am welcoming the help. I feel my angels in my heart guiding me. So that helps to open the door, directly open the door, and it bring that energy inside yourself. And help can come in mysterious ways. Okay. It may feel like there's no help here, but there really is help. Help comes in mysterious ways. And who knows, maybe it's the zodiac energy reading is reaching you in for mysterious reasons. Okay. I'm projecting my consciousness. There's a lot of barriers up. It's dizzy, it's disoriented, it's distorting things. It's very exhausting for my mind. I'm basically in a big black spherical space. And I feel dizzy, I feel disoriented. I see a reflection of Ophiuchus, and it's basically, it's both an adult and a child body combined. It's kind of odd looking. And then I see this form is sort of laying down and kind of like close to its legs, like it's doing an ultra stretch, but it has for some reason, the flexibility to just sit like this. Hmm. And I say, what can I do to help you? It doesn't feel like you're asking for help either, even though you need it. Perhaps this is a bit of a dent on your ego. Perhaps you're able to juggle a lot, and this is just you're trying to juggle this yourself and you don't need the help, but you actually do need the help. You don't want me to see you like this. You didn't ask for this, So this again, behind closed doors, you could be having a lot of experiences with your emotions, mind, your perception of things that are very hard. But on the outside, everything's fine, but on the inside, things aren't fine. So I'm seeing you as a vulnerable expression. And I don't have permission to see you at your weak point. That's ego getting in the way. Because when we're this at this level, we need help and nobody's judging. You got to let the help in. I literally just pick you up and throw you over my shoulder, and I actually fly. I have like these wings, and I'm just flying us out of this space. And I'm flying Ophiuchus way up vibrationally, way up high. Out of the dark, out of the dark, out of the dark. You don't need to be down there. That's just going to swallow you up like a stomach and digest you whole. You don't want to be down there. You don't need to be down there. Fly you up, fly you up. And this is also complicated because to remove you from this energy digestion experience, there's a process. Okay. That means to remove yourself from this experience, there's going to be a process. And it seems like you're resisting or avoiding something. This is a light lesson thing, and you're going to have to confront it, or it's going to confront you. You may not be ready for it, but it's going to happen no matter what. You may be disoriented, trying to, overly flexible here. I mean, but you don't need anybody to see how you really feel inside. You need the help. And you may end up having to help yourself, but it seems like help is available. You're just gonna have to open up to it and get your ego out of the way. Just simply the act of choosing to get out of this dark place is already helping. Because as I'm flying you out, I'm feeling all these weird interdimensional like levels and planes of consciousness, and they're not appropriate, not appropriate, not appropriate, not the right energy balance for Ophiuchus. And then I'm scratching my head like, well, where am I supposed to take Ophiuchus? And they're telling me it's a process. It's going to be a process. We're going to have to work through this. But get yourself out of the dark is step one. Let the love and the help in. Also step one. All right. Anything else? Words of wisdom for Ophiuchus for April. Okay, they're showing me a new scene, new image, new vibes here. And basically there's a face and there's kind of like it's sandpaper. And the sandpaper is rubbing on the side of my face, on the right side. And there's something of a match that it's literally on the left side that's kind of struck across my nose, and it lights the match. And it leaves a mark. Like, that really hurt. Why you gotta do that on my nose? Is this a gesture? Is this a gesture like where you kind of do your nose? What does that gesture mean? I swear I've seen this before somewhere. Like I don't know, like something with the nose. But anyway, there's a match lit here. And it hurts, and I've got like it literally dug into my skin. I've got a wound here now. And my face is getting smushed together, and there's a rubberiness to it. And I'm on a weird red chair, and it's going up and down a scale, and it's kind of like a game where you have a mallet, a big hammer, and you slam it down, and it hits this button, and then the thing goes up, and you try to like reach the bell. So you're on this chair, and there's like a mallet hitting this, and you're going up and down, like up and down a scale as well. It's like a scale. And it's very exhausting, this. Sagittarius was a really great experience, Ophiuchus, because maybe you need to be Sagittarius because this is looking difficult, okay? So what can we learn from this image you're sharing with us? How do you get control of your life when it is like this? How do you take control? How do you get it together? How do you manhandle the situation when it's really manhandling you and you just have to take it? What are you going to do? If it's bigger than yourself, ask for help. Life is going to introduce experiences that are going to feel bigger than yourself. As you move through those experiences, those big experiences bigger than you teach you how to become bigger than those experiences. That when you're first introduced to it, it's hard. As you move your way through it, still hard, but you're growing, okay? And you're getting bigger from it. So keep that in mind. All right, that's Ophiuchus. All right, I'm gonna push Ophiuchus energy that away. Still getting in the zone here. All right, Capricorn Collective. What is the wisdom and healing you can share with Capricorn for the month of April? And I always like to just state this, that we're all a part of each other. There's always something that we can learn from the other zodiac signs, and we're here to support each other. So whether you're Capricorn or not, there's going to be something to gain from exploring this. Okay. I'm being shown a very tiny bead of, I can see through it. It's clear. And I'm touching this. I don't know what it is, but there's a really wonderful sensation when I take a look at it. I feel captivated by it. I mean, it's very, very tiny. It's like the tip of, I mean, it's, I don't know, like a dull pencil. It's kind of that large, the tip of a dull pencil. And I'm mesmerized by it. What is this? It's like maybe it's a teardrop that is turned into a crystal, but it's very small. But it seems perfect, like magical. I mean, it's smooth, it's crystal clear. Ah, and I'm wanting to access more of this. I want to know more about this. I'm not satisfied by just looking at it is wonderful. It's mesmerizing, but I'm starving for more. I'm starving, I'm hunting, I'm seeking, searching, desiring. I need more. It's literally like I'm really thirsty for expansion. Um, it's like self growth. But it seems interesting. Like I am so mesmerized by this tiny little thing, and I feel like it holds all the answers to life, to the world. It's mesmerizing me. And this representation, I am seeking it out there, um, and I am receiving. I am drawing in just forms of wisdom that are bringing clarity about life and myself in this world. Maybe it's learning more about my type of personality or learning more about, but it's bettering oneself type information. It's literally bettering oneself. And it's actually like a starvation that is being quenched in so many different avenues. I mean, it is being quenched in the heart. But there's something else here. That's not the whole story for April. It's like I'm needy, I'm needy, I need more, I need more, I need more, I'm needy. But I will say there's a balance to it, because what is before this dried up, dried out. So it's kind of like, April showers bring May flowers. So like the earth is soaking up the rain, it's like Capricorn is soaking up information. And so it was dry, and now we're soaking up information, but there's this like this desperate starvation that literally is almost like a void. I need more, 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 more. And it's literally like a void that you're trying to fill. But I don't want to call it that because voids can sometimes represent something that will never be filled. I feel like Capricorn, this can come into balance. However, it might seem a bit desperate to get there at first. I'm telling you, this is old news. This bead thing. Like you're still like, I need more. I need more. I need more. But you're not realizing that you've acquired it. You've acquired enough. You don't need any more. So you need to digest what you've actually been receiving here through all this information you're gathering, and you need to digest it, process it, become one with it. You don't want to stop. And that's fine. Like literally that there's still balance to this. Usually there's not. Usually it's like, whoa, this is like way out of proportion. This isn't way out of proportion. This is actually, there's a balance to this. So I'm just going to sit here and wait and watch Capricorn, you continue to do this in April and see if anything else comes up. Yeah, okay. So you will reach a point. Maybe it's in April, maybe it's in May. I don't know. But it seems like you reach a point sooner than later where there's an epiphany about, why are you doing this? Are you still avoiding something here? Are you avoiding facing something and you feel like, oh, the energies have shifted and everything is fine now? And now I'm going to do all this personal growth and development. It's going to be great, only to face that thing again. And it is going to come up like a bat out of hell. Like, and this is the void. This is the thing you won't reconcile. And it seems like you get these flows where, you know what, it's reconciled already because I just simply need to work on myself. But that's not correct. You always need to work on yourself. We all always need to be working on ourselves because that's part of what we do. That's how we grow. Like we self-discover. We interact, we self-discover some more. And this is actually quite nurturing. I mean, it feels very even pleasurable to, it's like, oh God, I'm having like all these epiphanies, like, wow, I'm freaking out here. That is so true. Oh my God. You know, I feel like so much information is very juicy and it is very good for me and it is very fulfilling. But you're actually, this is a catalyst because again, you're avoiding a thing here, a lesson. And it feels like the lesson is reconciled because the energy is shifting and now you're looking at this personal growth and development stuff, but really you're just gravitating towards the lesson again. I'm sorry, but there it is. It's literally a black charcoal line and you will hit this line. And it's gonna, well, let me watch you hit the line. No, no, you're not, is like, there's no line here. Information, it's going to get boring. This like juicy sweet spot is going to, feel, it's not going to work. It's not going to fulfill you because again, the energy is shifting and you need to look at the lesson. It does feel like there's a really great time in April for you to thrive, okay, with self-discovery and growth. But it does feel like April or even May, it does feel like there's kind of an energy shifter here where you're going to have to work on some stuff related to a life lesson. Oh, there's a Capricorn here that says, okay, I want to know more about this because I'm actually going to face this. I don't want to turn my back on it. I want to face this. Okay. All right, then you need to ask yourself, are you seeking this information for personal growth and development, or are you still avoiding something in your life? And by facing that something in your life, that is what gives you true personal growth and development. That is where the true personal growth and development is, in facing that thing that you're avoiding. And now you're filling that void, which is fillable because this is a lesson that has to be resolved. It's going to circulate around and around and around forever until it is finalized, whether in this life or the next life. I highly recommend you think about it. It feels like there's kind of this feeling of almost like it. I don't know how to say this politely. It's almost like this lesson is an eye rule. Like, why are you not working on this? Why are you avoiding this? Why will you not budge? Why are you stubborn? It's actually annoying. That's literally what it feels like vibrationally. Like you keep avoiding this thing and then you say, oh, everything's fine because it's already done. But then it keeps coming back again. And you're creating a really unhealthy cycle where you might just live in this mode. This might be the ebb and flow of your tide for years and years and years to come. I'm telling you, that's what this is like. So I see Capricorn is thinking, there's more Capricorns thinking about this. I have a feeling there's some of you are going to tell me that everything's fine. And some of you might admit that, well, there's this thing I've been avoiding, but I mean, it's probably resolved now, right? somehow the energies are somehow communicating, or Capricorn collective is wanting to translate that as there's some kind of reconciliation, and this is actually me growing, but it's actually you avoiding a process here of true growth and development that is going to be hard, but it's going to be abundantly, I mean, you're going to grow abundantly from it. It's going to make all of this very superficial in comparison to what that is going to provide. I see Capricorn's, I'm supposed to stay in this a little bit here because I see Capricorn's legs are shaky, and there's a look at this charcoal like line drawn. This is, it seems like towards the end of April, okay? Like April 21st, or I mean, it's just, that's what comes to me, okay? And there's like, no, 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 no. Because when it comes, it's literally like grips your insides and just with it. And you're left wondering, what's wrong with me? I just did all this personal growth and development stuff. Am I missing something about myself? No. What's wrong with the situation? It's out of balance with your balance. You're continuing to work on yourself. There's something out of balance here with your balance. You really keep telling yourself that that everything is fine, or you're creating a lot of ideas that encourage you to believe that that everything is fine. It's like constantly circulating in the mind that, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe but I'm not going to change anything. You're stubbornly stuck, and you're going to have to change. You're going to have to make a change. I feel like so let's say you build a foundation. Let's say you build a pyramid, okay? Who wants to knock that down after it's been fully built? Nobody. So let's say Capricorn, you built a pyramid, a solid structure. But believe it or not, there's termites in it, and you need to start with something fresh. And you actually have bigger ideas this time. And a pyramid is a pretty big idea, so it's really hard to let go. It's really hard to accept that this wasn't quite what you thought it was going to be. I don't know why. I know pyramids probably don't get eaten by termites, but you can imagine something in there is eating it from the inside. Okay. And it needs to get broken down. You're going to, it's like, let's take the Eiffel Tower and let's just knock it down and just forget about it. It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? You don't just knock the Eiffel Tower down and get rid of it. Like, you just don't do that. Like, that is a special thing. Like, Capricorn, you've built something special here. You don't just unbuild it. You don't just break it down. But this lesson has something to do with starting with something fresh and new. And you're not allowing yourself, because you're holding on to what you've already built. Okay. I will say that line gets really easy quite quickly. I don't know if it was just a quick introduction and a process of it, or maybe it just depends on how you, Capricorn, decide to work through it. But they show me after that there is a bit of a calming, but it still looks like kind of a cloudy sky, like it could rain and it could pour at any minute now, but it's not yet. Because maybe something is still undecided here. So that's April for Capricorn. Interesting. Aquarius Collective, I welcome you to share wisdom, healing for April. Wisdom and healing that is going to impact those Aquarius here. And I like to remind everybody that All the zodiac signs, we're all here with each other. We're all a part of each other. We're all here to support and learn from each other. So this Aquarius reading can be a gift to us all. Okay. I will say something sleek. I feel something sleek. I mean, I feel something very sleek, and I see two circles that are, there's a very thin, they touch very lightly, and they're both spinning really, really fast. And somehow I'm able to slip right through, how they touch. I slip right through it. And it's, I don't know why, it's really great to feel this. I'm just like, it just really gives me a great vibe all over my body. I just want to slip right through this again. Woohoo! That was really fun. I really like that. I'm going to slip right through this again. I just do it. And it's great. I could stay here and keep doing this over and over and over and over again forever. Or I can acknowledge that there's good times and there's times for learning and growing. There's more challenging times and there's good times again. Like, that's kind of life, right? So I know I am smart. That's the energy of Aquarius right now, is analyzing this experience with the two circles and slipping through, and it was glorious. But Aquarius is really smart. I can feel a lot of an empowered thinking, collected, grounded, empowered thinking, and really taking a look at what felt right about that, but knowing there is more still. There's simply more still. And Aquarius is okay with that. But is not choosing to go anywhere else right now, is just choosing to stay close to these two circles, isn't going back and forth with it, is just standing here and just kind of reminiscing in the memories, or reminiscing in the moment, or thinking about the future while feeling a part of something of the past and it felt good. Like, so I'm just watching Aquarius here isn't making any moves. I know why Aquarius isn't making any moves. Because there's something big here, and Aquarius can't move through it. Is not going to be able to slip through this one. It's big. It's a big thing. And it's literally like a giant orange sack of something. And Aquarius is like 2 inches tall, and this is like a mountain. And it's huge. It's like a sack of trash or a sack of leaves, and it's just like right there. And it was invisible at first, but now it's starting to become apparent. And there's no pathway through. You can't climb over it and you can't go around it. So what is Aquarius supposed to do here? And maybe it's orange because it represents the sacral chakra. I don't know. Maybe there's work to do there. And sacral chakra is a part of our sexual body, our lower gut. Aquarius like, no, 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 no. But you're not necessarily upset. You just like, oh, good grief, kind of thing. I can do it. I can do this. It's like more work to do, but I can do it. And I'm okay with it. And I kind of expected it anyway. And I'll figure my way through this. Again, very grounded, collective, empowered thinking. What's interesting is I see you, Aquarius, just looking at what is in front of you and really analyzing it, really thinking, processing about it. You have a calculator and you're pushing buttons here. You're crunching numbers. You have a pencil on your ear, and now you're taking the pencil and you're taking notes. You're making very specific calculations. I mean, you're almost like an architect in a way too. Like, you draw lines, like very specific, dimensions, and I mean, it's like you're building something. You aren't building something. You are processing and thinking and analyzing. You tell me there's not going to, you refuse. This will not require any hard work. This will not require any labor. And so there's no building going on here because there's no labor and no hard work. What you need to do is think smart. And you are able to think smart in April. Things are changing. It doesn't feel like the scene is appropriate anymore. It feels like something totally new. But I can't tell what that is. Again, the two circles are actually starting to appear here, and they're much larger, or I'm much smaller, and I can see how easy it would be to slip through, because in one perception, it's like they're just slightly touching, but when you get really, 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 really atomically small, you'll see that there's still a gap. Somehow, there's still like a slight gap. Like maybe I'm just super small and I can fit through here even better. And I'm wanting to. But I'm not choosing to go through this yet. And I still see that it's as if I never slipped through in the first place. It's almost like we're going back in time, but they say we aren't. We aren't going back in time, and we aren't starting all over again. It's just like a new introduction from a different perspective to something similar to what you've seen before and what you've worked through before. But you're going to have a different relationship with it this time. I still see the big orange sack. I mean, it's like a little ant to a giant bag of leaves or something. But you decide to stop the two wheels this time. And you suddenly grow huge hands, and you take the two wheels and then you put them on their side and you close them together. It took no effort at all. You have some kind of very interesting idea, and it's like you're standing on some kind of little something that goes in between the two wheels. You're standing on it and the wheels are turning, and it's like you're going to drive you're going to take this you're going to use this as a tool, and you're going to you're going to use this tool to help you to get through this orange sack. Okay, it's going to drive you through this. It doesn't necessarily work. It's a good try, it's a good attempt, but it doesn't actually accomplish the goal. You're not going to give up, and you're not disappointed. Now you know another thing that you didn't know before, because you came up with an idea. Even though that idea isn't going to work, you at least know what doesn't work, which means you know more now than you knew before. And I feel like there's a bit of an avoidance here. Like it's almost like you want to use other tools to overcome this in your way, when there's it's like you might have to face this. Okay, like you might have to do this differently. There might not be a way to outsmart it or a clever approach, because it might take just a simple conversation, something like this. Again, throat chakra, communication, self-discovery, letting go. I mean, these are kind of concepts for April. I'm just thinking about how the zodiac's energies, if there's some similarities between them. But it feels like this is a throat chakra thing. Even if it's a big orange sack of what is like wet leaves or something. It doesn't feel like trash. It feels like yard work. Oh, I have a knife and I show you, you just stick it right there and then you just cut and then let's just let all this come out. And I give you the knife and I say, work on this. Let's work on tearing this down. You're like, oh, so it's going to take a little, like you're going to have to roll up your sleeves. This is going to take some work. I say, yeah. And you're like, okay, it doesn't really seem like hard work, but it does take some work. They say, well, you use your brilliant mind to come up with that strategy with the two wheels. Maybe we just need to think outside the box of something like a knife and opening the sack up and just cleaning this up. Maybe you need to clean up your mess. Maybe there's nobody that's going to come pick up your yard work trash. Maybe you're going to have to clean this up yourself. It's just something you're going to have to work through yourself. And you actually are very clean in this process because like all this black, gushy, old junk comes out and you seem to know what to do with it. You're crying. It's emotional. It affects you emotionally because it's memories that are stored in the sack and they're kind of long overdue to be looked at and processed. And it does have a relationship with your sacral chakra because it's about your life. It's about the pleasures of life or the hardships of life. It's how you've been affected, how you love yourself, or we're taught not to love yourself. Like these are sacral chakra things. It's emotional stuff. It's self-expression stuff. You gotta look at it. So I mean, it's a lot of chakras involved here. You're actually crying a lot. I mean, you pick up one handful of this and you just start to cry. But you do know what to do with it. And you somehow, as you cry, the bag is getting smaller and smaller. And your tears start to fill this ground and it's just lots of emotion that is coming out. And as the emotion comes out, this bag of yard work is getting smaller to the point that there's nothing here other than just an empty orange sack. And you don't want to move on yet because you still feel like you need to feel about everything to be whole with yourself. And you actually make a very genuine and heartfelt connection with your angels and guides, God. I mean, it feels like a spiritual connection that you become opened up to in April, because these emotions and this connection and this healing of what is within yourself is opening you up to desiring a connection with love, source energy. And you feel brighter on the inside and you feel there's a really beautiful feeling of balance. And you feel gratitude as well. You definitely feel gratitude. It's nice. I feel healing in your sacral chakra. Like, I mean, it just feels good, and your emotional gut and your heart. It's really lovely. It's humble and wholesome. And I like it. So that's the message for Aquarius for April. Okay. Just tapping into the Pisces collective, welcoming the Pisces collective to share wisdom and healing for Pisces for April. And I just like to mention that we're all a part of each other. And so we can all learn something from Pisces. We can all be here to support Pisces with whatever comes up. And Pisces is a gift to us all. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, this is freaky. Okay. there's an energy current, and it's really overwhelming, and I feel emotional about it. Um, I'm gonna describe this. Let's say there's one long rectangular flow, okay, and it's just forever and in front and behind, and it does have kind of a flow to it, and it's blue. Now there is a line that is above it that is black, that is connected to this flow, and a line below it that is also black that is connected to this flow. And when I stand in this flow, it really makes an impact on my throat, really makes an impact, believe it or not, with at my ankles and feet. And I feel this weird vibration of energy at my feet and at my throat. And and so that's basically all I can tell you right now. But the blue does feel quite nice, but it's impacting me emotionally. I'm going to just relax for a minute, and I'm going to have to process this. It was really surprising. It really came on all of a sudden, and it could not be denied. And it's not going to make a whole lot of sense to the mind, because it's going to have to be felt as though your feelings are your mind. And so you're going to have to work with your feelings in order to interpret it through your feelings' interpretation, because your mind is not going to be able to translate it. Only your emotions will be able to translate this. Other chakras are talking to each other, and there's a lot of hustle and bustle and communication. Like, we need to figure this out. We need to resolve this. All hands on deck. But what I do is I literally bring all the energy and bring you heart centered. Because in a way, this energy it could either derail you, or it could catapult you. Okay. So either it could knock you on your butt, or you can find a way to work through it, and actually harness the energy, and it will catapult you forward. And so I'm still understanding it. I will say the two black lines are a bit conflicting, and they're confusing. The blue in the middle actually seems to be it makes sense somehow. And it does represent emotions. The black also represents emotions. I'm literally shaky from this. So the third eye is now getting involved, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And what it feels like to me is that this emotional process is giving the third eye and the mind an upgrade of how to translate yourself, Pisces. Okay. Because in a way, the Pisces, there's something about water and flow and emotion. And what is the mind? Does it work with emotion, or does the emotion get conflicted with the mind? This feels like the mind is going to receive a powerful upgrade, in order for you to access a new level of self-reflection, at the mind's level, and how to interpret you as an emotional being. And it's about identity. And this feels really good. It feels long overdue, but it needs time. Okay. This here in the third eye needs time. Throat chakra needs time. I mean, I feel like I'm gagging. I mean, I do. And I feel like there's this sound in my ears that's like my ears are ringing and they won't stop. And I feel like I don't like this. And this energy at the feet wants to knock you down. And it wants to degrade and dissolve your state of groundedness. And you're going to feel confused as to how to stand your ground or how to stay grounded. That's what it's like. I'm still trying to figure out what can I tell you to help you use this to catapult you forward. They're instantly telling me it doesn't matter. Like, you catapulting forward doesn't mean you're making the positive choice, or falling on your butt is the negative choice. Don't avoid falling on your butt if that is also a positive choice. They're it's like I'm thinking, oh God, I don't want anybody to get knocked over with this, because this is like the undertow that will take you and drown you, you know? Like I don't want anybody to get drowned in this. So I'm like, help as many people as I can, you know? But they're saying that's okay. That's actually good. And both are good. Both are good. And it will be appropriate for your growth and development. Dude, I feel like I'm gonna vomit now. The next thing is the stomach circulation, and it's like old mac and cheese. It's like old mac and cheese that hasn't digested, and it's just been sitting in my stomach, and it's like got a rotted effect to it, and I feel like I'm gonna barf it out because this is an emotional experience, and this is an emotional process. And this is the gift that is upgrading your third eye to be able to comprehend your extraordinary Pisces self. The mind is getting an upgrade here, big time. And it's going to have a better understanding of how to literally understand the emotional identity of you. And this doesn't feel particularly easy. Even when it catapults you forward, it's like you still have to work through this energy. You still have to, and you're going to want to try to understand it, but it's not, I feel strongly that it's not something you're going to be able to understand. An interesting understand, and it's trying to knock you off your feet. Something's changing. This feels like a thread of light. I mean, it feels like mid-April, okay? And it feels like there's this watery time where there's just so much water. There's so much to process. There's so much emotional stuff. And then we have this thin ray of light, and it feels like on the other side of this light is air to breathe. And you're literally treading water, and you're under the water, and you are with all your might trying to walk underwater to get to this thread of light. You're not quite to this thread of light, but it's getting easier. It's getting easier. It's getting more relaxed. It's almost laughable. Like, what was that? Like, what was that? Did I just lose my mind for like a couple weeks or something? It's like, what was that? I mean, I feel lighter. I'm also seeing that it's like, okay, here we go. Imagine that you're in Hawaii and there's a massive wave. And then you have these people that are standing their ground on this wave. Some people are going to get knocked down and some people are not. Who is the better person? The one that gets knocked down or the one that stands their ground? It doesn't matter. You're sometimes going to get knocked down, you're sometimes not. When you don't get knocked down, it feels a bit more empowering. It feels like, yeah, I got myself together here, you know? Then that could feel like a catapulting forward, like I got this. But you're still dealing with this wave. You're still dealing with this wave. And it's like when it's almost like no matter what, there's going to be a heavy process. But really, what this heavy process is a massive release. A massive release. And that's when it feels lighter. It feels like you just dropped like 10,000 pounds of emotional weight. And it feels breathable. It feels like, who am I? Wow. I'm like a new me. I'm a brand new me. And as you walk through the ray of light, you feel really, you feel a light. You feel lighter, and you feel the light is shining on you. You feel blessed. And you feel like you're on your knees, and you're even crying, and you're so thankful. And you want to help others. You feel catapulted to help other people. Like you feel like you have the force of the angelic realms to help so many more people than you've ever helped before in your life. Like it feels like you have a massive inspiration to help others. And whether that's one person or a million people, there's this fulfillment of your heart. There's a fulfillment of your identity. There's a love of self. There's a release of the old. There's a massive purge that was that was derailing and hard, but it was a clearing. And it brings you so together and so strong that you just have this like outreach to help people. You just want to. You just feel alive in the moment to do that. And you feel so happy. You feel like you're flying. Like you could go for a walk and it doesn't even feel like you're touching the ground because you feel that light. I mean, this is pretty good turnaround. So I'm going to stay in this light moment. Gosh, this is also making me shaky because it's so shockingly opposing to what we just went through. And it's so light that like I can't even think straight almost. Like I'm almost like I can't, it's almost like a new challenge without even realizing that this could be hard. Because there's so much light coming in and I feel so light as air. And before I didn't feel like this. And now I feel like this and I feel great. But it's like, I'm like almost not able to breathe because there's so much breathability. How could that be possible? How could I be struggling to breathe when it's just like, it's like the air is really light up here. It's like I'm climbing the mountain and there's a different, there's the air is thinner, you know? I just feel like that, like I'm trying to breathe. And I feel like this moment is taking me into an astral experience and a visit with the highest realms of the highest realms. And it's like shedding the body and going beyond. And it's an appropriate type of derailment because this outpour to help others is a catapulting, again, the catapulting to even higher dimensional planes. And it's like an astral travel. Like there could be some extraordinary dreams at this time. There could be even moments where you just are in this fantasy in your mind and you're talking to God or something. And then you come back to yourself. You didn't even realize you were just doing that. And then something will happen later while you're eating dinner. It's like, oh, I was talking to God today. I was at work. What did we talk about again? That is legit. That is a legit astral event. That is a legit spiritual moment. That is a legit conversation. So pay attention to this stuff. I mean, it feels like two sides of a spectrum here in April. There's gonna be a hard emotional process and there's gonna be a super bright time of like real freedom and light and connection with higher realms and helping others, and you're gonna feel in your freaking element. But it might even be a little much. It's almost like this is great, this is great. Oh, this is too much. But it's okay, it's manageable. It's totally manageable. I'm gonna stick with this for just another minute because I feel like I need just something more here. Oh yeah, it's coming back down to your body. It's just coming to yourself. Coming into your own feet, your own form. There's a message here for you Pisces, and it's the way that you look, your height, your color, your gender, your name, everything about you is perfect. And everything about you is the tool that your soul needed to be, this perfect reflection to do what you're meant to do in this life. And no matter what you think about yourself, whether you like yourself or you don't like yourself, and you are perfect. You are perfect. Like you really need to embrace every little detail about who you are, because who you are is exact, like your soul figured this out. Your soul knew exactly and knew it for a reason because your soul's freaking smart. And your soul did not make any mistakes. Your higher self, God, however you want to see it, did not make any mistakes with you. And you need to know that. Okay?